In a 2-year reign of terror 30 years ago, Willams was linked to the killing of more than 24 children abducted from the streets and murdered in Atlanta. The memories are still fresh for many Atlanta residents, especially those in the African American community whose children were being killed. Now, Willams is serving 2 life sentences.
Our own experience in the field of law enforcement, the experience and opinions of those who have consulted with us, including other law enforcement agencies, our consultants, etc., we can say with certainty that we do not have one person responsible for the cases involving the missing and murdered children in our city.
But they openly said, you killed Nathaniel Cater, and you know it, and you're lying to us. They said that. And they said it on a number of occasions. They said it on that night. One of the task force captains on the scene pointed his finger at me and said it, and said he was tired of all the BS about working the long hours, working the stakeouts, and that he was ready to pull the thing to an end.
I never did, and perhaps never will believe Wayne Willams is the sole perpetrator of those crimes. He was too small, he was a softie. Wayne Willams was a would-be news person, videographer like yourself. And I say would-be because he wasn't very good at that either. Wayne Willams wasn't very good at much of anything. And I don't think he would be a very good killer. He was just a wannabe. He wanted to be in the know, in the news, he wanted to be around. He was a ne'er-do-well. I mean, by that he just wanted to be in the mix, but didn't quite know how to be in the mix.
I was probably my own worst enemy. I was an arrogant, bus-headed idiot at the time, and I played right into these people's hands.
But I think Wayne was set up to quiet this trauma. This city was traumatized. It was about to explode. And Wayne Willams was the pin in the balloon to ease the building and almost explosive pressure. He was a fall guy.
Would you tell us what Twinkie means?
A Twinkie to me is a sissy.
A what?
Sissy.
A gay?
Sissy, period.
Doesn't it mean a young, under 18 gay who is like a Twinkie, cream-filled? Isn't that in the gay community?
Man, I don't know what those folks in the gay community talk about. All I'm saying is we use the term Twinkie, hostess, cupcake, sissies, faggots, and a bunch of words to describe them.
What does a closet gay mean?
I don't know.
Now, Mr. Henry testified that he saw you holding hands with Nathaniel Cater at about 6 hours before you were at the bridge the next morning.
In the first place, he didn't see me holding hands with nobody, mister, because I done told you I don't hold hands with no man nowhere.
The significance of the Clifford Jones case has to do with it being the only known case out of the 29 murder cases that wound up on the authorities' official list of cases, it's the only case in which eyewitnesses are describing for the authorities the molestation and the strangulation of Clifford Jones. There are also eyewitnesses describing for the authorities the disposal of the body by a suspect who was not Wayne Williams.
Muhammad Ali came to town and offered $1 million reward. Two of us could solve these crimes. Cash on the table, man. It was a dramatic scene. That's how desperate and that's how diabolical those times were. And ironically, nobody ever got that money. I think the relevance of it, that Black lives, well, let me back up. The relevance of it is that Black lives matter, much like it's being said today. But they don't really. They didn't matter then, and we're arguing, fighting, marching the streets again to say Black lives matter because, in a sense, to many people, Black lives don't matter. Will it come up again? No, because it wanted to be dismissed. It was like cathartic for Wayne to be convicted, a sigh of relief. A life could go on. It was like a release of the pressure. But the problem still remained. Again, $1 million wasn't spent to help the inner city at all, or help any of these families whose sons were missing. That was a publicity stunt. This was about keeping the lid on Atlanta. It was PR. Atlanta could have blown up or never been the great city it is now. This was a crossroads for Atlanta in terms of its international image. Remember that Atlanta is a business town, too busy to hate. The Atlanta way, whites and blacks getting along to make money. The image. This was strategic. This was a business decision. And nothing to do about murdering black folks. And to this day, I still think it's all about business. It's all about money. It's all about image. Black lives don't matter to most of these folks. Bucks matter.